Hey girl, hey. It's Ruth Delgado. Excuse me, y'all. Ruth Delgado and Ruth Delgado's Glamour page here. And welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. But if you have been here before, welcome back. And I hope that you've already pressed that subscribe button and press that notification button so that you can be notified every time I upload. Because you know why? It's lit over here. Like, can't you tell? Like, seriously. Colors and everything. Colors popping. Can't you tell? Exactly. So anyway, getting right to it, straight to it. We're not going to beat around the bush too long. I have a few flows of videos I want to produce today. Okay? So I need you guys to bear with me while I find out which subject we're going to get popping with first. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a really good title right here. Why black women would rather stay single than in a relationship. Let's talk about it, shall we? Why? Why is it that I saw the interview with the beautiful Lauren London and um, Angie? I forgot her last name, but she does like the interviews with a lot of stars, a lot of famous people and everything. So I saw that interview and I saw how Lauren London said, like, after she lost Nipsey, she's not even trying to put herself out there and be available to anybody anymore. She's like, she's already had her love with Nipsey. She thanks God that she was able to experience that because some people aren't. And she's like, she's good with that. Like, that's basically like that's it for her. Now, am I taking it with a grain of salt because I know that I've heard other women like, what's her name? Halle Berry. Also, a couple of other females right now that I can't really like place them at the moment. But, it was a number of females that said, they was done, they was chilling, they wasn't bothering nobody. Oh, the girl, what's her name? I be seeing everybody face in my head, but when it come to their names, I be like, ooh, what's their name? Um, she's like the rapper girl. She just got out of jail too. What is her name? She used to be with Vaughn, King Vaughn. I can't think of her name right now, but anyway, you know, when King Vaughn passed away, she was like chilling off with dudes. Then she got in a relationship. So, sometimes when women say that, they be really serious and they actually do it and go all the way through with it. And then sometimes when women say that, they be a bunch of cap. Cap. Okay? We ain't gonna play around and sit there and pretend like these people pretend to know. It's cap. You going girl. Girl. But Lauren London, on the other hand, she has been, and it's been what, a year or two, keeping to herself, like she said, and basically devoting her time to her children. And I'm like, I ain't mad at that. And she said she's also, focusing on continuing to build what he, you know, left off at, what he was building and still creating when he was still alive. And I'm like, wow. And then I don't know if it was like just in the flow of things or if that's how things happen. But after I saw that interview, then I just start seeing a bunch of different like videos about women not really wanting to be in relationships anymore, especially older women. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like, I'm not surprised by it because I know how interesting and weird and crazy and spooky and creepy a lot of times being in a relationship can be, and controlling. That as well. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to fix the side of my hair. Please excuse me while I fix my little wig cap. But anyway, where was I? Sorry, y'all. Got a little distracted from my hair, trying to make sure my hair look good for y'all. Okay, going back on why black women would rather stay single than in a relationship. So, I started to see more and more videos of women talking about how the same way they share those same type of, views and stuff. But I also have seen women that are still married or got married again. And, I still believe in love, and I'm not giving up on I'm not giving up anytime soon. But in honor of the fact that other women have noticed a lot of the things that I have also noticed and been through some things also, and how they're starting to feel now as a collective, typically, it's like, wow. So I don't really want to show any more videos of people talking about certain subjects anymore because I was watching one of the channels that I usually watch, and she said that she got demonetized in the middle of her monetization and flow of, doing her content the way she usually does it. And she said some kind of video or something, some kind of footage or something that she put into her videos, they said was like copyrighted or something like that. And so they automatically demonetized her to the point where she could still upload videos, but she not getting paid for any of it. So she's trying to tell everybody to go follow her on another platform. Not, well, yeah, another platform, as in another page on the YouTube platform, though. So, how did I get there? Yeah, I'm sorry. I be getting off a subject sometimes. But, so, not to say that I feel this way personally. That's not why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video because I see a lot of, especially black women, that actually like feel this way. And when I've talked to and heard from a few black women who talked about why, I think to myself and I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. Like, it's not that I didn't get it to start with, but it's just like, okay, I got a lot clearer and I got a lot better when I realized, like, when they say, like, I know you remember whenever you was in relationships or situationships and the dude was just taking advantage of you. You sitting there doing everything that you can to make that man happy, keep that man happy, whatever. Darn, doing everything but swinging from ceilings. Like, I used to cook for guys. I still clean, but I don't really cook like that no more. But I used to cook for guys just because I knew, all right, that's what a lot of these guys want. They want some girl in their home cooking for them and treating them like a king, serving them, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So at first, when I first started dating and being in relationships, and I had guys that felt that way or preached that to me, I kind of fell victim for it for a while, just because I felt like they would say to me, well, if I don't do it, then another girl's gonna come take him from me and do it. Okay, well, come, let her come. That's how I feel now. Because the thing about it is, I still know whoever I'm with, but right now I'm with my dude. Um, I already know. Like, I tell my dude to this day, listen, if you want to go find you another girl, go find you another girl. Just don't disrespect me behind my back and then to my face be like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But if you want to be on a tight tip where you like, okay, you're not satisfied with me, okay. But my whole twist is don't expect, if you do go mess with somebody else, don't expect me to be sitting there being 100% faithful to you and loyal to you when you're not even returning that same grace to me. Pete, I ain't gonna sit there and try to control you and be like, oh no, you better not be out there with this person. You better not be out there with that person. Go ahead and be with that person. But make sure that you show grace to me and you let me know before you make that decision to do that crap. And you messing with me on a consistent basis. You let me know before you make that decision because we're a couple. Don't have me out here looking stupid and crazy and retarded. Okay? Okay? Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So my guy knows that. But, you know, and any guy that I get with, they know that's how I'm coming these days. Like anything else, whatever. But I got to the point after spoiling my first few boyfriends that I had and those relationships not working out and me being so strong in marriage and wanting to get married one day and all of that kind of stuff. And then noticing how much these guys are not marriage material. So I went to marry them anyway. And how I actually got not ever formally proposed to where somebody in a proper setting got down on their knee in front of everybody and let it be known that they was like proposing to me. But I've had a few, three proposals where I had one guy, he proposed to me. This was the first guy that proposed to me. I was 17. This was when I first got on Facebook. And I was kind of surprised that my mom didn't tell me to get off that thing and never get back on there. But when I first got on Facebook, I don't know how, maybe I kept the page up or something. But my mom got into my Facebook page and found out that one of the first messages that I got was from some African guy who told me that he had like 3 wives already, and he would like to make me his fourth wife. And I'm like, I'm 17 years old, so like, and he's like, oh well, I'm in Africa, so you can get married young here. You can get married at that age here. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not there. So that's not happening. And I shut it down. But that was the first time I ever got proposed to. I was 17 years old. And then, I don't even know how old I was the second time. The second time, it was this guy on Facebook again. He contacted me on Facebook. He said he had already had one wife and he wanted another wife. And he was like, yeah, my other wife that I had, she wouldn't have no problem with it because she know that that's what I do. I have multiple wives, this is and the third. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's nice. I forgot how old I was. I think I was like in my early 20s or something like that. Probably like 21, 22, something like that. But I was like, oh, that's cute. Okay. But when he finished what he was saying to me, I was like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. And he was like, why is that? And I said, well, you're not my type. I want to be with somebody where I'm the only woman in their life. And he tried to preach to me the whole community setting and how the African tradition, just like the first African that tried to propose to me at 17, tried to say how the African tradition welcomes that because the stronger the community is, the more the wives have, the more wives the man have, and rich he is, and da 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 da. And I said exactly. Point is, most of the time, but not these days, the men were rich and or wealthy and or very, you know, well taken care of and plentiful when it came to um, having what they needed. Nowadays, a man can have one baby mama and not have enough to be able to take care of a kid or kids that he makes with her. So I'm not about to play no games with no whole bunch of dudes. I mean, not a whole bunch of dudes. A guy with a whole bunch of girls, and I'm one of the girls in his what sector of choices. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not for me. No, baby, sorry. So I said that to say, um, is less beneficial for women these days to get married. First of all, we're always being told that the man is the one that always gets the losing streak or losing strike when he gets married because supposedly he sacrifices his, I guess, being a hoe because that's what they've been that's what they be doing. I guess he's sacrificing that, but it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I feel like when it boils down to it, like, guys always think that they're losing out, but it's like, okay, check this. First thing that happens, usually, in most marriage unions, is usually between a guy and a girl, and usually the girl takes on the guy's name. Usually the girl moves in with the guy. Not to say that there's no exception from time to time and person to person, but overall, these are the majority rules type of situations where the most common situation comes with. So, also, um, usually, who is she even referred to from that moment on when she gets married? Is she even referred to as her own name? No, she's not. She's referred to as somebody's missus, meaning like she kind of basically gives her whole identity up to you because they don't even refer to her as her name that she's used to being referred to as anymore after she gets married. But oh no, 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 no. Oh, but the guy is the one that takes so much of a loss. But check this, I'm not finished. Then when y'all unwed, I mean, when y'all get wed and y'all possibly have children, usually she want to have kids for you. She gives birth to the baby. She has to go through whatever process of giving birth or conception, whatever she has to go through, whether she loses the baby, whether she, doesn't lose the baby, but goes through struggles of PTSD, or no, not PTSD. What is it called? I forget what it's called, but the mommies get it sometimes when they pregnant. They have challenges with connecting with the baby and stuff like that, and it's sad, to see and hear people go through that, because it's like, if the father is not being active in making sure that the mother is well taken care of and very healthy, then it's like the mother is jacked a lot of times, unless she figures out another way. But that's why so many times, like, come on. Then, on top of the fact that she has to be the one to give birth to the baby, she has to be the one to go through whatever process of giving birth, all of that process. Then she has to be the one to give up her body, because let us not forget, a lot of females do not maintain and or keep the same kind of physique and body that a lot of the men were attracted to start with after they give birth to a child or children. But the guy is the one that is, losing out. Then on top of that, she is usually mainly the one that is majority of the time with the children, cleaning up after the children, taking care of the children, teaching the children, being responsible for making sure that the children get a proper education and all kinds of stuff. This is all on the mother's shoulders, not the father. And I'm just saying mother and father because of the simple fact that typically when you get married, you are preparing, usually, you're preparing to create a family. So that's why I keep talking about mothers and fathers and children, even though I don't even have any children right now. But I talk in that scenario of family because I believe very strongly in family and the love of family and support of family. So that's why I refer to family so much, talking about this specific subject. But that's why a lot of times women will rather stay single because look at all of the different things. I done lost count now. Look at all of the different things that she is sacrificing for that man. Her name, her body, her whole identity, her time, her future a lot of times because a lot of women usually a lot of times give up on their future once they get pregnant. It's so much that that woman sacrifices to the point where I'm like really scratching my head wondering like, hold up, sir, how is it that you feel like you're the one that's making the most sacrifices? Now, yeah, she might fuss at you and probably kick your butt if you stress her out and she's having her PMS or she's having her issues with her menstrual cycle and she's having her emotional roller coaster type situations that us women sometimes do have. And I say us women because sometimes I go through it as well. I'm not going to sit here and pretend and act like, oh, I'm not a real woman that has those problems sometimes. I am. But it's just like, when you really look at the whole picture as a woman, getting married to a man, a lot of times it does not look good for the female. It looks more good for the man. But it's sad that these men act like they don't understand or see or know that. And they still keep complaining about the woman. It's crazy to me. So that would take me into the next subject that I am going to be talking about in my next video that I'm going to be doing, which is about talk about the trauma of witnessing your parents get abused and not well cared for and how that affects and changes the child into adulthood. So we're going to talk about it up next.